Guess what I'm doing? I'm making my pudding to make homemade banana pudding. My Jordan is here with me visiting. He's been here for a couple of weeks. It's actually his third week. And I'm just spoiling him, giving him some of Mama's home cooking. That's right. Y'all see my hand going from side to side. I'm making this pudding from scratch. And this is a very tedious, I don't call it tedious. You just have to pay attention to it. You can't let this just sit on the stove and kind of cook itself. You have to be attentive to it. You have to bring up the temperature of the milk with the water, the milk with the egg very slowly, so that you don't cook the egg. You don't want scrambled eggs inside your milk, and you don't want your milk to be scalded. Excuse me. You just want it to cook slowly. And I usually know when it's time to kind of turn up the heat in the process, but I stir constantly because I have to use cornstarch. That's the thickening agent. And if you're a person who made gravy using flour or anything like that, you'll know that you can't just let this sit. You have to literally be stirring it the whole time. Otherwise, it gets lumpy and clumpy. And there's a very critical moment because you can actually feel the weight of the milk mixture. It's got milk, it's got egg, it's got cornstarch, sugar, and salt. This is what I have in the pot right now. But you can literally feel when the weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, the heaviness of this mixture gets to the point where it's thickening rapidly. And usually when that happens, I increase the speed of my stirring and I turn the temperature down some, because at that moment, if you don't do that, what happens is it becomes lumpy and clumpy and just not pleasant. So anyway, I got my vanilla wafers. One tip that I learned from my mother about making homemade pudding is you don't just put vanilla in there. You put vanilla and a little bit of almond flavor. Almond flavor is very potent. You don't need a whole lot. A little bit take you a long way. A little dab will do you. But yeah, I'm making my homemade pudding for banana pudding. So on the menu, we've got macaroni and cheese. And by the way, my mother put me onto this thing here. I made some macaroni and cheese for Thanksgiving. And we had a head of cauliflower in the refrigerator. She was like, do me a favor. She said, put that cauliflower in the macaroni and cheese. I've had like fried vegetables before, like fried okra, fried zucchini, and I've always enjoyed it. But it never dawned on me to put some curly flowers in that macaroni and cheese. Can I tell y'all, I am hooked. Can I tell y'all that that is my preferred way to make macaroni and cheese? Some curly flowers in there. So I'm making macaroni and cheese with curly flowers. Some collard greens. Not collard greens. I'm so used to putting those together. That's just a southern meal, right? Not collard greens. The vegetable is going to be broccoli. It's going to be garlicky, lemony broccoli. And it's like really, it's twangy. I like twangy stuff. So you can just go while you're eating it. I just love it. So let's go backwards. Go back. Macaroni and cheese with cauliflowers, candied yams, the twangy broccoli, and I'm going to make this banana pudding as a dessert, and then the meat is going to be chicken. I'm trying to decide how to make it. It's boneless chicken, so I could either cube it or make it like chopped barbecue. I'll have to ask the guest of honor what's his preference for that chicken. But anyway, that's what I'm doing today. I'm in the kitchen. Yeah. It's gonna be delicious. Anyway, yeah, Jordan towers over me. If he were standing behind me right now, he'd be about here. Jordan's almost 6 feet tall. He's like 5'11" and a half, and he's 19, and he's hungry. He's still growing. And that's my baby. Anyway, I don't know where the years have gone. But I want to encourage you to take some time for yourself and just really do self-inventory. My pastor said something over the last year. Y'all help me out. Jesus help me. I'm saying these things that I don't need to be saying, Jesus. Over the last week, he said something that I thought was really awesome. He said, during this pandemic, you know, if you come out of the pandemic the way you went in, he was like, as a Christian, he said, you don't have the Holy Ghost, he said, because there's no way you could be in this situation, I'm paraphrasing, and not change. God is dealing with us about some things. And let him deal with you. Let him deal with you. I was on Facebook this morning, and I was scrolling through a page of a lady who I was associated with back in the day. I'm not going to call her name, but she and I had some common connections. I'll say it that way. And I was scrolling through her page and just kind of going down memory lane and looking at her posts. And she's very successful in her chosen career. And she just really, really accomplished some great things. And it made me think about something. She and I went through a rough patch. And this was years ago. I remember when I confronted her about it. And I remember literally saying to her on the phone, I don't know how you sleep at night because of some things that had gone on. But we were able to get past those things and work those things out. But I realized something. When you say you forgive somebody, it's either you forgive them or you don't. I don't want to rehash anything, and that's why whenever I tell stories and give details, I'm very careful not to give names. That may change at some point, I don't know, but right now I just don't feel to release people's names because, I mean, that's not the point. The point I'm making is what I'm about to say, which is when you have an issue with someone, do your best to resolve it. Sometimes resolving it and forgiveness will mean making peace and moving on like it never happened. And there are other times where you'll have to part ways. You still love the person, you still be kind to them, but you just, you put them in the balcony. She's a person that I just lost touch with her over time. And today marks the anniversary of a death of someone very dear to her, a relative of hers. And I know, I learned that as I was scrolling through her page. So, you just don't know. Sometimes God puts a person on your heart for a reason. Because I didn't know. I woke up and she was just on my mind. I was like, why is she on my mind like that? So I just figured, I don't have her number to reach out to her in that way. But we're connected through social media. So I figured I would just, go to her page and give her a shout out somewhere. But after finding out what today really is, I decided to send her a message through Messenger and reach out to her. I haven't heard from her yet, but that's not discouraging me in the least bit because the way I feel about it, when God connects you to somebody, it's for a reason. And if God reconnects you to somebody, then he reconnects you. If it's for you to be reconnected, you will be. And if it's not, then you won't be. And don't sweat it because it is what it is, But it was very liberating to kind of go back down memory lane and see the joy that she has expressed through her life and the things that she's accomplished. It really put a smile on my face because I was reminded of the sunshine that she brings. She's a